Welcome back to FM Story. In this episode of the Journeyman Save, we'll be finishing our second season and looking to get promoted. So without further ado, let's get going. Before we get started, if you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. We've got new Journeyman Save videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So we ended the last episode at the end of February. We're now at the beginning of April. Since then, the wild games that we experienced in February have continued, and we'll take a look at that in a second. At the moment, we're sitting fourth in the league on 73 points, with 12 points above Dagenham, who are outside of the playoff places. So we should, unless we have a monumental collapse, we should be pretty set in the playoff places. We would need 3 teams to collapse massively for us to have a chance to go up as champions. So it's going to be the playoffs. It's just a case of how we play from now on in as to how high up in those playoff positions we finish. Just going a bit in depth into the table, and you can see we've scored 100 goals this season. However, we've also conceded 70, and there's no one that's not in the bottom 5 that's conceded more goals than we have. So whatever we do next season, we're going to have to do something to strengthen this defence. And you'll see why just as we go in and have a look at the matches in March. So obviously we'd left off the last episode after the Pool game. We drew against Dover, where we got a really quick equaliser after they'd taken the lead. And then following on from the 3-3 and 5-5 draws in February, a new contender for weirdest game of the season, we beat Salisbury 7-6 away from home. I mean, we went 1-0 down, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. We were 4-3 up at half time. Then it was 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 7-4. So we were 7-4 up at one point, and then they scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes in injury time to bring it back to 7-6. But yeah, we definitely need to do something about the defensive side of the game. And then we lost at home to Oxford, which is a disappointment because Oxford are around us in the league table, and then rebounded with comfortable wins against Billericay and Chippenham. So the game against Bath coming up is going to be a key one, just in terms of finishing as high up in the playoff positions as we can, because obviously they're in 6th, so a win puts a bigger gap between us and them, and more chance of finishing higher up in those playoff places. So we're going into this game against Bath with a pretty similar team to the other games. We've got Will Fuller in goal because Osage has left. We've got Muscat at right back still, with Keys who's there at left back. And we need to play Muscat at right back because Aaron Barnes is suspended for this game. Brad Abbott's got one of the highest amounts of assists in the league this season. Obviously, we're putting Jurajai behind the front 3, and we're going in with Derry because Prince Henry's not fully fit. Not much happening early on in this game. Oof. Unfortunately, that booking for Brad Abbott means he's going to miss the next game. Bath, for a team at home who perform quite well in the league, aren't really creating an awful lot, which is probably a dangerous thing to say this early in the game. Kiezu to the byline, Dion Moore, Kiezu. Oh! Muscat smashes against the bar. Yeah, that's not very good at all. I think what we might do is take Matthew Clark off and put David Butler through the centre. I mean, it looked like a game that neither team... It looked like both teams were more concerned about not losing than actually going and winning the game. But given that we've conceded 70 goals in the 39 games before that, we'll take a clean sheet. And obviously it keeps Bath below us, but looking at the other results, we've dropped a place in the table because it looks like Slough, I think it was, have probably come above us. Yeah, so Slough have gone above us because they beat Chelmsford. Oxford aren't far behind us. we've made it to the end of the season, or the end of the normal season. As you can see, we've got a home playoff game coming up against Oxford City. Before we go into that, let's just take a look at how the league season finished. So we ended up finishing in 5th, which is where we were after that last game. Obviously, we had a pretty good goal difference, but obviously, as we know from the earlier on, last time we looked, we'd scored 100 goals and conceded 70. So we added another 16 in the last 6 games and conceded another 10. Looking at the games we played after that Bath game, we beat Horsham, we drew with Tiverton. That's twice we've drawn against Tiverton this season. And bearing in mind, they finished in 16th. Really, that's a game we should have been winning. We beat Dartford 4-3, another one of those games where you score, we score. We beat Concord, and then we ended up with draws to finish the season with Dulwich and Hemel Hempstead, which is what saw us finish in 5th place there. And obviously, first up, we've got the game against Oxford City. In terms of injuries, Jed Abbey's doubtful, sort of really not fit to play, and Jeremy Casey, unfortunately, is out with a broken ankle. So he's going to be out for 4 to 6 months. It means that we'll be playing Aaron Barnes at right back and Joe Muscat in his more preferred position of left back. So as I said, we're going in with Aaron Barnes at right back and Joe Muscat at left back, with Casey being out injured. Obviously, we've got that front three of Prince Henry, Matthew Clark and Dale Moore, who have obviously scored lots of goals for us this season. And hopefully we can use the home advantage to see us through to the next round of the playoffs. Can we get off to a decent... Oh! Hit the bar after 2 minutes. Really, we need to take chances. We need to take them early. We're always going to get lots of chances, just by how many goals we've scored in the season. But we are pretty bad at the back as well, so we do need to take chances. How have we not got one already? What a ball. Oh! Another corner. Oh, 3 corners in the first 5 minutes, and then we've got a free kick on the edge of the box. Hopefully Joe Muscat can put this in the top corner. I'm not sure it was in the top corner, and it was he put it the keeper's side by the looks of it. The keeper standing almost directly behind the wall. No wonder he didn't get near it. It wasn't really close to the corner, but it's a good start, and it's what we deserve after that opening 10 minutes. We've dominated. Another corner. Oh no. And that's why I wanted a second goal. We are just not particularly very good at the back. Just ran off the back of the defender and give the keeper no chance. Did that go through the goalkeeper, or did he palm that into the corner? Because it certainly didn't look like it was a rocket. So, new goalkeepers, new centre halves on the shopping list for next season then? Did look like someone that was offside there. Whether it was the one that actually scored or not, I don't know. But yeah, not great. I mean, just we wasted chances in that opening 10 minutes. Although we got that one goal, we should have been 2 or 3 up, and then we just got nowhere near them when they've had the. What we're going to do is drop Girajai in as a ball-winning midfielder, hopefully get some more ball back in the midfield. So put Dale Moore just behind the front three and bring Tom Derry on a bit of a change to things. Lovely ball. Defender just got in the way. That's what the fourth or fifth corner that Morgan's got at the near post, and just none of them have gone target. Oh. How did that stay out? Right, so that's us back on level terms. Their keeper probably should have done better with his header. Barnes just dinks the ball up. Derry's header. Don't know what the keeper was doing, and then it was just there for a tap in for Prince Henry. Right, 10 minutes left. He was so free there. He had so much space, and again on the edge of the box. He got 2 free shots from the edge of the box. One got blocked. One just smashes against the bar, and obviously the keeper was nowhere for the rebound. Considering the whole season, including this game, we've scored 118 goals in league games. We've just not taken chances today. And that's our season over. We've overachieved in terms of what we were expecting. We were expecting to finish mid-table, but to get a playoff place, given the way the season went and how good we've been going forward, and having the home game in this first round, it's there's no other way to say it. It's disappointing to go out. I mean, they had an extra year 1.36, we had an extra year 3.57, and we've got beat 3-2. But we've got some big decisions to make on contracts for players. Hopefully we can get to keep some of them, and then we've got to do something about that defence. So obviously now that's our season done, it's time for the end of season review. So in terms of new arrivals, obviously Dion Moore, 18 goals and 13 assists in 50 games. There's not much more you could ask for from that. He carried on the form he had when he was on loan with us last season. We've picked up Jeremy Keazu on a free transfer. Really standout performer as well. 9 assists, and allowed us to play Muscat at right back as well. So we've got options at full back. We've got 3 decent ones for the level. Jack Spong, we signed on loan, picked up 13 assists, 5 goals. Again, decent performances. Brad Abbott on loan, spent most of the time off the bench, but was actually one of the highest assisters in the league. Ben Morgan, despite, it looks like he's played well. He scored 10 goals, so obviously most of that's headers from corners. But we have been really porous at the back. I mean, although he's average rating is 7.23, he's part of a defence that's conceded 86 goals in 46 league games. So we may need to do something there. Prince Henry, we've had him on loan from Bristol City. 24 goals and 8 assists in 45 games. It's not much. I mean, he's had a couple of injury problems, but there's not much more you can do with that. Matthew Clark, who we signed as a 17-year-old from Kings Lynn, 24 goals and 6 assists in 53 games for his age. I mean, hopefully he's only going to get better. And then in terms of ones that really didn't kind of work out, Jed Abbey, we had on loan last season. We picked him up just to try and give us a bit of depth. And although, I mean, 8 assists and 5 goals isn't bad, just not really ideal. I mean, he probably played a lot of games that he wouldn't have done when Jirajai was injured. and Will Fuller and Sean O'Brien really didn't play an awful lot. Will Fuller came in at the end of the season after the previous goalkeeper left. Nothing much happened in terms of the players that went out. None of them we really missed looking at the performances. So just in terms of sort of the expectations in the FA Cup, we were expected to finish to reach the fourth qualifying round. We've got the second round, and really should how we threw away that second round game, going 4-3 up in the 92nd minute, to then lose 9-5 after extra time. I'll never know. The FA Trophy, expectation was to reach the third round. We reached the fifth round. Obviously, the league's not finished yet because of the playoffs still going on, so there's no mention of the league there. But we were expected to be mid-table. We finished fifth. I mean, I would have taken that at the start of the season, but given how we played and how good we were going forward and how many goals we scored, you would like to think we'd at least got around further in the playoffs. Biggest win, 5-0. Match to remember. I mean, there were some crazy matches this season. I'm half surprised it wasn't the 7-6 win in terms of the match to remember. But that was a big one early on against a team that were always going to be there or thereabouts in terms of the playoff place. And like I said before when we were talking about Jed Abbey, probably he would have played less had Jirajai not been injured. Jirajai would have probably played more in that role behind the front three. Those stats for Asagay look like the stats actually after he left us. So he played 35 games and conceded 64 goals. Really, he conceded 64 goals in 30 games because he kept 5 clean sheets as well. And then he went on to Slough and didn't do an awful lot better after he left us. But goalkeeper is definitely somewhere we will need to strengthen going into next season, and probably centre half, because we don't have much depth beyond these two. I mean, they both started over 50 games. Player of the season, Dion Moore, Young Player of the Season, Signing of the Season, Goal of the Season. Prince Henry's top goal scorer. Now, do we look to see if we can get him back on loan? Same with Brad Abbott. We just need to look and see what we can do with that. We got Manager of the Month for me as well. So looking forward to next season. They want us to develop players using the club's youth system, and we don't have an awful lot of talented youth players. So I'm not quite sure what they want us to do with that. We've still got a few to look at in terms of the youth intake. But not an awful lot to deal with at all. Not an awful lot there that'll do anything for us. Play entertaining football, high tempo, so we can do all that's all what we're doing. So they want to reach the playoffs next year as a minimum, which we can do. Slightly concerning thing is that they're looking to sell the club. It may be as well that we have a look around this summer and see if there's any other jobs that take our fancy. Maybe I'll level up.